Good evening and welcome to the Society, our weekly Vaesen RPG campaign. My name is Loki and I will be your game master for these dark and thrilling tales. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this, our third episode? Fourth episode! Gosh, I can't count. And I hope that we delight, frighten, intrigue you with mystery and adventure. So, without further ado, let's meet our cast.
Hi, I am Sarah, and I'm playing Elstrid Jensen, the Forest Ranger.
Hi, I'm Mike, playing Maximilian Fjellbach, the paranormal investigator.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm playing Lieutenant Colonel Bartholomew Seaton, the officer.
We have a number of people we would like to thank for all the resources and contributions they have provided to tonight's episode. The links should appear in the Twitch chat, they're already there, or you will find them in the details below if you are catching up on our YouTube.
Our virtual tabletop tonight is the incredible Roll20, featuring their dynamic lighting features, inbuilt character sheets, and virtual dice roller. Go check them out at roll20.net. In addition, our battle map were created using Dungeon Fog and all the amazing assets over there.
Pull yourself together!
I know, right? Our character art was created by the extremely talented Zhuzha, who you should go and check out on Instagram at ZhuzhaUK. That's ZSU, ZSAUK. Our game tokens and dice roller tokens come from the Vaesen RPG rulebook by Free League and from the amazing artist Johan Egerkrans.
The music and ambient sound throughout the stream comes from Tabletop Audio and Kevin McLeod at Intrepid, all provided by the Roll20 Jukebox. You can check both these amazing artists out via their website at tabletopaudio.com and incoptech.com.
Now that we have said our thank yous and set the scene, let's head over to our intro video. All right. I am very excited and happy to have you all with us to carry on our tale of, I feel like misadventure at this point and mystery. But before we continue, I have another shout out to make. Everyone, please pay intense attention to the wonderful Colonel, who is wearing the most fabulous cosplay.
This side.
Right? I'm trying to do it like
Look at that! Isn't that amazing? I'm deeply in love with it. Within 10 minutes, I won't envy you, though, because that looks like it's going to be warm.
Oh, it's heating up. It's heating up.
It's heating up already!
I can feel myself getting red as it happens. On that, I just want to say a big thank you to my mum who did it all. She's been keeping an eye on the stream and watching along, and just thank you for me putting the effort in and the work in and getting it done. Thank you.
Aww.
I hope you're ready for commissions because it's so fabulous. I feel like everyone's gonna want one.
Yeah, is there,
Absolutely.
Like a cue, like a list where to,
I'll let you know.
Oh, right. Well, without. Oh, go on, Jack.
Commissions come through me.
With a 10% admin fee.
Oh, for goodness sake. All right, Del Boy, all right. Okay, without further ado, let's get underway with our story. I'm going to do a little recap, and I'll make it a nice quick recap because I'm sure all of us are very excited to find out what on earth is going on. In last week's episode, our adventurers searched through the haunted manor of Erdegarden, finding occult texts, strange items, hidden rooms and passageways. They were able to find a key and a mysterious letter from a Dr. P. Gint. The letter gave them direction that they should head through hell to try and find the gate to the hall under the mountain, and there they would find the guardian of the gate. Returning to the village with this new information, our adventurers were shocked and dismayed to see flames in the fog. Hurrying down the hill and into the village, they quickly realized that the priest, along with some of the villagers who had been roused into almost a mob, had set fire to Inge's house. And while they stand there watching the building burn, the priest is saying prayers and exalting the name of the Lord to drive the evil from the village. This resulted in our adventurers standing at the edges of the household, watching the building burn, as a terrifying and agonized scream from an inhuman voice echoed through the night and the fog. We are going to join our adventurers right there. What are you all going to do in this rather exciting situation?
How does everyone else react to the inhuman scream? The other bite.
Max gets into like almost the fetal position, just kind of like crouched right down on the ground and just holding his ears, as it's like almost a flashback to the vision that he had.
Yeah, absolutely. As Max drops down, hiding from the sound, reliving the vision, you see a very similar reaction from the mob, from the village folk, who are terrified at this inhuman scream. It is a scream that is anger, it is rage, and it is fury, but it is also pain. The villagers seem absolutely terrified, many of them flinching, if not cowering completely from the sound. The priest, however, continues, unabated and undisturbed by this turn of events.
I walk towards the priest.
Okay, let's do this. To the map.
So Max would also, in his like position, be like, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop.
Standing next to Max. Oh shit.
Okay, so where? Okay, there I am. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's the priest. Were those people very close to the fire?
So, describe the scene. You have the priest, which is this guy here.
Yeah.
You then have some villagers. So, I will get you to do rolls to see if you can remember them all. But you see some villagers. There are two that are gathered by the priest, and then there are two that are standing by the house, and they have torches. So they are clearly the lighters of the fire.
Okay. So yeah, Elstrid is gonna go straight to the priest.
Okie dokie.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, go.
I'm like, what the hell do you think you're doing?
He continues with his exaltations, with his prayers, with his biblical text. He seems almost to completely ignore you and your presence.
Okay.
As
now
you
I'm
approach,
going
now
to
that you are much closer,
Yeah.
you do recognize some of the villagers. So firstly, this older gentleman standing back here is the fisherman. And there is an older woman just here standing next to him, and they are standing together in such a way that gives you the sensation that this is probably the fisherman's wife. You don't recognize the other two village folk. They seem, just by giving them a quick cursory glance, they seem kind of like they may work on the farms. They've kind of got the build of farm labourers, and they are holding torches. So they clearly were the ones that were setting fire to it.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go straight face to face to the priest. Stop it right now.
I'm gonna pick Max up and move him towards Elstrid. That's if Max lets me. We'll come in here.
With you squaring all the way up to the priest, he seems to come to a natural pause in one of his exaltations. And with an amen, he turns to look at you. And it is... You are looking into the eyes of someone so devout that there is no question in any fibre, in any cell of their soul or being. The fire and the flames flicker in the reflections of his eyes, and he smiles at you and he says, "It is not for you to stand in the way of the gods' work.
And you
Step
don't
aside,
understand.
child."
Old man, you don't understand what you're dealing with.
And what makes you think you understand, unless you are in league with the devil himself?
Just because there's a difference between not understanding and standing in face of what you're doing. This is wrong, and I don't need to understand anything more than that to tell you this.
It is the only course of action. God demands that we cleanse this land to free us of the cursed devil.
What gives you the fucking right?
He
This
turns
is
and
someone's home.
he
This
turns
is their place
and
of worship. This is their own home. You do not have the right to burn down someone's house.
The priest turns and looks right at you very calmly, and he says, "I am the one, the only one with the right, for I am a man of God."
Your God
not
would
what
not
you are.
want this. No God would want this.
So do you claim to have better judgment than your own god to do this?
I follow his word.
What word brought you to do this?
The holy words of God. And as he says this, everyone give me a vigilance check.
Oh crap!
Yes.
I'm assuming this is one of those that I need to be -1.
No, you do get your bonuses for this one. All will be revealed.
Wait,
As
what?
Skadi goes for his nuts.
Yeah, I was thinking, Scotty. Play.
Skadi is the savior of Vaesen.
So, Scotty. So this is vigilance. So I have +3.
Yep.
Okay.
How did?
What? Wow.
Yes. So, Max, as this, I love it. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah.
I love it with the dice. Tell
Yeah.
the truth. The Colonel and Elstrid are consumed with their treatise with the priest, trying to understand and trying to understand the solution, but more trying to talk it down, calm it down. Max, on the other hand, the memories of the vision kind of break, and you return to the here and now. It is a voice that breaks your sort of consuming vision, this memory, this flashback. It is a voice. The voice says a single word. It is a woman's voice, and it is a woman's voice that you know. And as you look up at the sound of your own name, you see Inga step out of the fog. And she just says, Maximilian.
So from the crouch down position, kind of like this, Max just takes his hands away and turns and looks at her.
She kind of just stands there looking down at you. There is something seemingly ethereal about her, like she is sort of wreathed in fog still, standing at the very edges of the fire, slightly wreathed in fog and lit by the flames that are burning down her home. She takes on a ethereal and somewhat frightening visage in her calmness at the situation. As the voices of the Colonel and Elstrid echo out into the night, bandying with the priest, Inga looks at you, Max, and says, "This cannot be allowed to continue. Gætir will not allow it."
Do we hear that or just Max?
Probably just Max, as you and the Colonel are kind of
Yeah.
in a slanging match.
I am this close. I am this close.
You're like this close. What do you
So,
do, Max?
Max is going to stand up and he's going to walk over to Inga. He's going to kind of like almost ignore everything that's going on around him and walk up to her and just say, "Where are you?"
We are coming. we're going to hop back over to Elstrid and the Colonel as the priest says that he is following the holy word of God.
No god would want this. This is not right. How do you think that setting fire to somebody's house will fix anything? If you don't know what's going on, setting fire to a house certainly doesn't, create only more problems. Doesn't fix anything.
I understand what is going on.
You
The
don't
devil walks among us. You do not know of such things, child. We must purify with flame to free us, to free these people.
I only see one devil here, and he's wielding a cross.
Oh,
Words out of my mouth.
it is at this moment that Max, you see at the very edges of your vision shapes moving in the fog. There are 5 shapes, all of them humanoid in nature and all of them small. And you watch as out of the fog these ethereal ghost-like apparitions, they form from the fog into a very similar visage to Inga. Sort of ethereal and lit by the flames, as 5 children step out of the fog. As the Colonel says to the priest that he only sees one devil here and he is wielding a cross, there is a very palpable shift in the air, like a very palpable feeling. It becomes cold. It's almost like the cold of death that creeps in on all of you. The priest looks at the Colonel and says, "What are you doing, foul demon?"
I'm visibly confused.
What did you just say?
How does he look when as he says that? Is he?
He looks like he is ready to go on, like, all of you have felt this very sudden shift, like the cold of death is pressing in on all of you. It's just appeared out of nowhere, and it was just after you said, and he is wearing a cross. He turns to you now, and in his face is the pure belief that you are clearly his enemy here.
Pull yourself together, man.
He points right at you and says, "He is one of them, an evil who has taken your children. We must purify the evil." And
Quite
with
right.
that, we are going into initiative. First combat of the society.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right.
Max saves the day, kills them all, and we get to go home. Lovely.
Right,
Back
so
here, Bob, and we'll have a drink.
I am going to...
Oh, wait, I need the thing.
Ow. Ow.
Okay. I mean, no, but okay. Seriously. Returned. Could have called them revenants at that point.
Okay, so as we go into initiative for our I'm going to kind of talk but not look at you while I set up all of the Roll20 things. So for our lovely audience and those in chat, we are going into combat. When we do so, each one of our players is dealt a card at random, and the cards have got numbers on them. Each of these numbers is then the order in which our players will go. So if you can put your numbers into the turn order, that would be great. I'm just going to make sure.
Do I have to?
Yep. I'm going to move
Is
that
it any worse than mine?
to
No.
there so that
Same
our...
with you, that's all.
Ooh, maybe I should move that to there. So
You get to go sooner than us.
Alright, is everyone in?
Oui, oui. Or as I should say in Norwegian, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okie dokie. So,
The mob as one?
yeah, I know, right? Otherwise I'm going to have to just deal myself 100 things. Okay, so... as he points to... as the priest points to the colonel, making the accusation that the colonel is in fact an infernal being that has brought about the unfortune or the misery to this village, he immediately moves towards Elstrid to try and push Elstrid away
Okay.
from him. Okay, so he is going to make a shove.
Okay.
So when I look at the right thing, this is where it's going to slow down a little bit while we all work out all the various rules that are now in play. Okay, so he is going to make a shove. So it's going to be a push. So it's going to be a force roll.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to have to wait for the character sheet to load now. You know.
Is it a contested roll or is it gonna just be?
No, it is literally just a force roll.
Okay.
So I literally just press the buttons. Okay, it's not going to be a very good one because he's not very strong.
I mean, I'm a tiny girl, so we'll see.
Yeah, here comes 6 bloody successes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so he goes to shove Elstrid. Elstrid, you kind of just square up to him, and as he kind of goes to shove you, you don't move a centimeter. You hold your ground completely.
Yeah, like, you know, like heels kind of like digging a bit in the ground, but I'm not losing ground on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Gorm moves towards the colonel. So I'm going to spend one of my fast actions to move inside the zone.
They all rolled with one roll. They all rolled.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'll put the zones up for you all. So I'm going to use a fast action to move inside the zone so I can get into close combat range with the colonel. And then Gorm is actually going to pull from his belt a knife. that he uses to, gut fish. He is the fisherman of the village, so he pulls out this knife that he has on his belt, and he comes in with the full intention to stab you, Colonel. Okay, so there's no bonuses. Okay. So he comes in with this knife, pulling it from his belt. He lunges forwards, going in to try and stab you, and you deftly anticipate the attack, moving out of the way so that the knife only stabs into thin air. The old woman is actually going to move. She's going to use a fast action to move away from the conflict. Mm-hmm. And the two big farmers, one of them is going to move in to support the priest. So he is going to move in towards you, Elstrid, and he is going to try and grapple you. So he's going to try and grab hold of you so that he has got you. This is a contested roll. It is force versus... you can either pick agility or force.
Agility for sure.
And I will roll the force. Oh, and do you know what I have forgotten to do?
Oh no!
Damn, that's a lot of dice! I feel like that's too many. I've put the wrong number in. Look at this.
19?
I'm just trying to scare you all, that's all. There you go, that's the actual number of dice.
I rolled the agility up and I have a success.
Nice, so you are able to dodge out of the way as this guy comes in to try and grab you all. I totally have forgotten to switch you over to the conflict music.
No,
I don't know what's wrong with me. I've done it now.
It sounded conflicty enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got one last guy. He is going to move over to try and help the fisherman. He is also going to try and grab the colonel to try and basically restrain you, grapple you, get hold of you. So again, it's my force versus your force or agility. I have a success.
My force or agility?
Yes.
Oh, that looks the same.
Roll well. Yay!
Nice.
Yes.
So we have so we both have successes. So you, because you've got a success to avoid it, you win the contest. So again, this guy comes in to try and grab hold of you, and you deftly step out of the way, basically dodging this guy as he tries to, get the drop on you. Elstrid, it is your turn.
Okay. Let's see. It's probably gonna be the wrong thing to do, but I am gonna... How do you say that word? I am gonna draw my rifle and just point it straight at the priest.
Okay, nice. So you are actually in engaged range with the priest, which means that you will get quite a hefty penalty on firing your rifle at him.
I don't want to fire. I just want to raise it to his eyes, straight to his face, and say, "Stop this right now."
Oh, okay. I'm totally up for that.
I just want to,
Yeah, absolutely. Give us an. It's a manipulation roll,
Okay.
and you will get an extra die
Okay.
because you
question
have
here.
you're trying to shoot him in the face, threatening.
Manipulation is based on empathy, and I guess since I was scared.
Yes, but you don't need to do anything. Roll 20. We'll work it all out for you.
So I need to put a +1?
Yeah,
because
so you'll put a +1 in the box when it pops up.
Okay. We'll see.
Oh, nice! So as Elstrid pulls up her rifle, pointing it right at the priest, and in no uncertain terms laying down the truth of the situation, you, Elstrid, you see all of the villagers kind of stop. They kind of all freeze and look at you, realizing the priest is now in mortal danger.
Okay.
Anything else, Elstrid? Because I believe that only counted as your slow action, so you have a fast action if you want it. Or you can keep it.
Can I don't know, take kind of 2 steps back?
Yeah, you can take a little step back, absolutely.
Because I kind of, don't get me wrong, the idea of having the rifle pointed straight at his face is good, but 1 step back, because I know there's movement right behind me where obviously the Colonel and Max are,
Yeah.
and so I just take 1 step back.
Okay.
And that's it for the moment.
Nice. Alright, so... Okay. So, as Elstrid takes a step back, the priest square in her sights, everyone kind of frozen, trying to work out what on earth they're going to do. Inga steps out of the fog completely. She appears at the Colonel's side. And Colonel, you see the fisherman, his name was Gorm, you see Gorm go almost white as a sheet as he sees Inga. And she takes a step forward, and as she does so, I'm going to need all 3 of you to give me a fear test. Everyone is going to need to do a fear test. So, a fear test is, this one is going to be, it's either empathy or logic. And it is it's a fear test 1. Which means it's scary.
I'm going to go with empathy as I know her. Would I get any modifiers for that?
Yes, I will give you a +1 modifier because you're kind of... Yeah, you're not surprised by her arrival.
Yeah.
Oh, I am.
And there is my not surprised.
Nice.
Did you not know she was there? Come on.
It's like, okay, come
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
To her for a while.
Me as well, right?
Yep. Whoa. See, again, I love it when the dice tell the truth. Colonel, you see a woman that you don't recognize from the village. She appears next to you, and you kind of brace yourself ready for her assault against you, as all the other villagers have done so far. But there is something strange about her, and as she steps forward, she stares into the eyes of the fisherman, who stares in to her eyes, and the form of this woman changes. Her clothes and her hair move around her as if she was underwater. She is beautiful, wreathed in an unnatural light. And then everything about her shifts dramatically. Her eye sockets turn to pools of darkness. Her mouth cracks across her face and splits into a horrifying smile. And instead of looking like a beautiful woman underwater, she looks like a drowned victim that has clambered out of her own watery grave. The Colonel and Elstrid, you are going to take a point of you are going to take a mental condition.
Yeah.
From this, as you bear witness to this horrifying visage.
Just wondering, because I know you can do it in Alien and it's the same system, if I'm able to share my points?
I don't know. If you pop open the skills handout, it will tell you what your extra successes for empathy are. No, it won't, because they're the skills.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. In a fear roll, you either succeed or you fail.
Okay. I do.
Thank you for
It's all
trying.
learning. Yeah.
But you know what I will do? I'll make a little note and I will check the rules in the break. Because I'm a nice GM.
That you are.
As you both take points, as you both take a mental condition, you can pick which one on the list.
Well, I'm already frightened, so...
Yeah, so maybe angry or hopeless?
I mean, yeah.
Sorry,
I
can you
have to
remind me what
say-
angry is?
Yeah, angry makes more sense than hopeless at the
Yeah.
moment.
So when you take a mental condition, it acts.
Yeah.
That's your HP. So you only have 3 hit points in effect. You have 3 physical
Ouch.
ones and 3 mental ones. When all of them are ticked, you become broken and take a critical injury. You can pick anyone you like, and then it's kind of up to you to have fun role-playing the condition that you choose.
What does angry do, out of interest?
It doesn't do... Well, that's a lie. It gives you something that you can role-play on, because you now have a mental condition, but it imposes a -1 on all rolls relating to mental conditions.
Okay,
So anything to do with logic or empathy will now have a -1.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
you're less able to think rationally.
Good that the one with the rifle out is already a -2.
It is not just the visage, the horrifying nightmare of this woman who has stepped out of the fog and become this spirit of terror incarnate. It is not just that terrifies you. Because Gorm doubles over, collapsing to his knees, and begins coughing as if he cannot breathe. After the first couple of coughs, he begins bringing up lungfuls of water. And you realize you are standing here watching a man drown, and he's not even in the water.
There's such a thing as dry drowning.
It's...
It is. It's a thing.
There you go. The stream is also educational, and it gets darker as we explore different ways of drowning.
We started with the stream. We need to add the more, you know.
The more you know. Out from the fog steps another child who, it is a young boy. And he steps out of the fog, appearing behind the old woman. She is horrified at the vision of her husband seemingly drowning because of this terrifying spirit creature that's come out of the fog. Her fear only escalates when the child reaches over the fence and kind of grabs hold of her arm. She lets out a terrifying scream of pure fear before kind of collapsing and trying to scurry backwards, but at the same time being almost completely frozen in panic. The scream draws your attention, and you see 2 more young boys come out of the fog, and they both, at the kind of simultaneously, hop over the fence together. They look very much alike as they do so. It's almost like two brothers hopping over the fence, and they move with an agility and grace that is almost ethereal rather than physical. From the other side, you see a young girl kind of steps out of the fog and appears next to Max. And another young girl glides over the fence, appearing lit by the flames of Inga's house. Colonel, it's your turn. The villagers who were standing down moments ago at Elstrid's threat to the priest, now panic is spreading rapidly through Inga's garden as these children manifest from the fog.
I'm going to stow my rifle and draw my saber. And I'm going to slash at the farmhand that tried to grab me. The ignorant bastard. In my anger frustration.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you should be able to click on the weapon, I think, and it will do the weapon roll.
Yep, there we go.
Hey, look at that! Nice!
Yay.
Okay, so when you use a weapon, the success means that you deal the damage that is attributed to that weapon. So if you look at the bottom of your dice roll box, you will see damage is 2. That means you do 2 points of damage on a success. Okay, so this is 2 points of physical damage. Describe to us how you either mortally wound or incapacitate this villager. You're a very experienced soldier, so I'm going to hand the storytelling over to you as you decide if you are going to kill this foe or just wound them in such a way that they will not be coming back to the fight.
I feel that he is now angry with everything that's going on, so he's put his rifle onto his sling, so it's gone to his back. He's drawn his saber and just plunged it straight into the farmhand's heart. Pulled it out with a quick swish and then walked off as he's crumpling. He's not looking back. He's angry and he's going for the priest.
Okay. That horrifying look that you know so well comes across this man's face as you plunge your saber into his chest. It is the look that you have seen on so many faces, a look you know will haunt your dreams. It is the look of someone who realizes that they will not survive. with a splutter, blood pours out of this farmer's mouth. And as you draw the saber out, blood follows that, pouring out and pooling on the ground as the farmer kind of collapses, clutching at his chest in fear and panic and terror as his heart just stops beating.
I loom over him for just a moment longer, and then I start making. I can't this turn because I can't move now. I turn towards the priest, not even looking down at the old man coughing up water.
Okay. Fab Max, it's your turn.
Max. He puts a hand, or attempts to put a hand on Inga's shoulder, and just kind of leans into her and goes, "This is not the way." And seeing all the carnage that is befalling everywhere else, he is going to draw his dagger in readiness of anyone attempting to touch him without permission.
Okay. Anything else?
We know that is what he is going to do.
Alright. We return to the mob, who are now in various states of life and in some cases deceasedness. The priest, seeing the horror manifest in the garden, he is going to begin exalting the names of God as he pulls out a pistol and shoots Elstrad with it.
Gasp!
Hashtag holy handgun.
Let's just hope it doesn't make Elstrad holy.
Oh gosh. Alright, dice time.
Definitely cross about that.
Would you get disadvantage as well? Because of how close the range is?
No, because a handgun
Obviously.
I can fire,
Close range.
yeah, so a pistol is range 0 to 1, so I can, I don't get disadvantage, yeah, gross, hey. Okay, that's gonna do, let me just bong this in here quick. So, it's gonna be 2, it's ranged, there's no bonus. This is me doing maths, everybody. I hope you are appreciating my Carol Vorderman face.
I'll have 2 from the top and 3 from anywhere else, please.
Oof. So, I get a success. You all hear the gunshot
Yeah.
just as the priest says, Amen. There is a gunshot sound. Elstrad, you feel a
Yeah.
savage pain explode in your chest. You are going to you now need to take on 2 physical conditions.
Okay. Sure.
So you only have 1
Yeah.
left
Of each. Yay!
of each.
Cool.
And he, having then shot you,
Yeah.
he is going to start his next invocation. The farmhand who is standing next to him is going to turn around and look at the two boys that jumped the fence. And he is going to say, Einar, Harold. And that's all he's going to do. The fisherman's wife, who is terrified beyond reason, she is on the floor. She is on the floor. And she is going to use her movement to try and kind of crawl along the fence to get to her husband. Now, she is in melee range with one of these spirits that has a reaction. So I am going to do some rolls to see if she can escape.
We hope not.
Hmm.
In the dice we trust.
Yes. So it is an agility roll.
Yes.
And she is going to fail. So she goes to start crawling away, and the child is then going to basically sort of give chase to her. So she moves to... She manages to crawl along the fence towards her husband, who is drowning. However, the small child manages to follow her. Kind of... Not... It's a very calm and kind of... It's a very calm and creepy walk as this child just walks step by step, keeping in time with this terrified old woman who is hands and knees scrabbling along the floor, fearing for her life. Elstrid.
Yeah.
It is your turn.
Yeah.
Actually, just before it's your turn, I need to do a roll for the drowning man. He has... Oh. He is actually quite good at this, which is unsurprising, I guess. Well, I still fail with all those dice. Okay, so he takes a point of damage as he is drowning. Elstrid, it is now your turn. How many other people jumped at that sudden...
Yep.
that sudden change in the combat music?
My question is...
Okay.
Am I far enough to actually shoot? Am I right? Because like range is 1 to 3, so I'm like...
So technically,
Yeah.
technically by game rules, you need to be in another zone in order to not lose a dice. So you can fire, but you will lose a dice. Because you're in close range, and it's really not a close range weapon. But I mean, you
Is
can
the
still
one-
shoot him.
Yeah, 'cause I'm thinking it's not like I can fail and shoot, one of the good guys. I just miss, worst case scenario.
Yes.
The pose.
So, if I will give you the T. The Year Zero engine, when it's run in Alien, has a hard and fast rule that if you fire a weapon and you completely miss, the GM can decide what you shoot instead. In Vaesen, there is no hard and fast rule for that.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry that I'm suddenly going to be like, oh, you shot your friend.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Technically, I'm turned in a specific direction. Worst case scenario, I either completely miss or I hit the other dude right
Yeah, exactly.
Hit the farmhand.
Yeah, so I am gonna shoot the priest. Try at least to shoot the priest.
Okie dokie.
So I guess I can click the use button, but I need to do something first to make it the minus.
Yeah, well, you click, when you click the button, it should pop up and you just put -1 in the box.
Okay. I mean, I have a 2, so I guess it goes to 1. Okay, let's do this.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's quite a. It was still 7 dice. I'm a little bit frightened about what you're going to look like rolling dice without penalties. That's a little scary. You fire off the rifle. The recoil of the rifle as it fires smashes into your, like, you've been shot in the chest, and like when that butt of that rifle hits you, you can't hold it, and you give in to that rifle, and your shot goes wide.
Yeah. Am I at least scaring them?
I mean, everybody ducks at the gunfire. Okay, do you want to? So that's your slow action to fire. You can. You've still got a fast action if you want it.
I mean, now I'm standing here. Yeah, no, I'm done with my turn.
Okay, lovely. It is the returned. Okay. Inga's form has returned to just her normal self, so she's not doing either the creepy underwater beautiful woman or the creepy drowned woman. She has just returned to her normal self, but she is keeping a hella eye contact on the fisherman. The young lad who kind of runs up beside the old woman, he is going to lean over. He's going to go onto his tiptoes and lean over the fence and look down at her. And he says, "You can't hide from me."
That's not creepy at all.
And her hands fly up to her ears, and she rolls onto the floor, clutching at her head, and just begins to scream as if either there is some agonizing pain in her head, or she is like hearing the thousands of voices of horror in her ears. The other children slowly, one of the little girls appears at your side, Elstrid, and just stands there looking up at you and smiling.
good smile, creepy smile.
Yeah, she's like, it's like when you get a little kid and they kind of walk up to you and they just smile up at you. That, but it's creepy as hell.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's just creepy. The two young boys are going to use a fast action to move into the next zone, and they are going to almost simultaneously walk up. One to the farmhand and one to the priest. One of the little boys is going to look at the farmhand and say, "Hey, Goodrick." And you see this farmhand collapse to the ground as his hands come up, and he clutches his head and is screaming like in agony. The other little boy is going to reach out towards the priest to kind of grab the priest. As his fingers reach the priest's robes, you see the fingertips of this little boy ignite as he touches the robe, and the little boy snatches his hand back and is like, and looks down at his fingers that are burnt and kind of looks back up at the priest, and his this little boy has now a face of like fear. The little girl who is right next to you, Maximilian, is going to reach out to try and take your hand, just like a little, like she's quite small, and she kind of puts her little ghostly hand up to take hold of yours. She is corporeal, like you feel her, like she's a physical emanation. And as she gets hold of your hand, she looks up at you and she goes, "Don't worry, Max, it'll all be over soon."
I like her.
Colonel, it's your turn.
I'm going to move to here within the zone with my rifle drawn. Also, I'm going to swap weapons. Oh no, wait, that's too many actions. I can't do that.
Stab him.
I'm all of them.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stab him. That's annoying because my rifle's better. I'm going to move up to him, and I'm going to stab him.
Okay, nice.
Come on.
As you lunge forward, Colonel, with your saber, doing a beautiful saber lunge straight out of the textbook, the priest, almost out of the same textbook, sidesteps out of the way of the saber. And in that exact instant, Colonel, you realize that this priest is a military man, or at least was at some point. And he completely dodges your attack. And that's your fast and slow action, isn't it?
That is indeed.
Bam! Max, it's your turn.
So, a fast action, move to the next zone. That would be to cross the white line, yes?
Yep.
I would then need 3 actions to do what I would want to do, isn't it? Because crossing and moving within the zone is too fast.
Yes, that's 2 fast actions. What is it that you want to do?
I want to run up to the priest and stab him with my dagger in the heart.
Yeah, it's too far. You'll be able to get up to him, but you won't be able to get the attack off because that's the slow action.
Yeah. Okie dokie. I am going to run up then and get next to the colonel. I almost move like elfin, like almost Legolas style. Because nobody usually sees Max move like this, and also he's wearing a cloak, so he glides through the air almost.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
And the dagger is still in my hand. I am kind of going to kill this man because he's hurt my friend.
Okay, it is the mob's turn. Of the mob, it is only the priest who is still functioning in any format. Having just dodged your saber thrust, he is going to basically just try and shoot you blank range with his handgun, which I can do because it's a range of 0.
No.
I know,
No.
right? It's pretty bad. It's
Not the nice smelling colonel.
I mean, he'll still smell nice. It'll just be gunpowdery added on top.
Oh, that would be nice then. You'll smell like a party popper.
Okay, here we go. Rolling.
Yes!
Yeah, no successes. The gunshot ricochets out, but strangely muffled by the fog. The bullet goes wide, somewhere into the battlefield. And then I am going to try and move away.
Would I get a reaction?
I'm literally just looking now. It's chase. Oh, you do get a reaction, but it's a fast action and you've used them all.
Can't I use my next turn action? to
I
do it?
haven't.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
in melee.
So,
Ah.
both of you who are in melee combat have used all of your fast and slow actions, so you can't react to attack as he goes to move away. He is going to kind of move away towards the fence, so he gets to there. Oh, now I just need to make some quick dice rolls. My force roll for the fisherman. Okay, he succeeds, so he is still alive. And then I need to do... Okay, and then I need to do... So it's twos all around. So, fear tests. 1, 4... Okay, so the fisherman's wife... 6... Oh! I get 2 successes on my fear tests. So, they still clutching their heads and screaming, but they're not losing their marbles. It is the returned. Inga is still going to bear down upon...
Wait, you skipped me?
Oh, did I? I did skip you. Good job someone's paying attention.
I mean,
I didn't... No one in chat noticed, though, so don't worry.
But... Okay. I mean, not that I have anything ready, but... I want to look at the child, the little girl that is next to me.
Uh-huh.
What?
Yep.
Is she like, like, they all look like they're there, but there's something about them, right?
Yeah.
I want just to try to, kind of grab her hand and say, we are trying to help, but please, this isn't the way. People are gonna get hurt.
Okay.
they may be misguided, but not all of them are bad people. Not all.
Oh, Elstrad, you're a nice person.
Yeah, there's me and Jack over here being like, nah, just
I
kill them
know,
all.
right?
Just get rid of them, yeah.
Give me an inspiration roll.
And you know, like. Yeah.
Okay.
That fits.
So you give this beautiful, heartfelt speech about,
Yeah.
not hurting anyone.
Not all of them. You know, like somebody over there deserves to be, burned alive. But
we need
Okay.
a wicker man.
over here.
Anything else, Elstrad, after your lovely, heartfelt speech?
Does that count?
It's a fast action, I believe. It says it's a fast action
Shout more
to
than a few
shout
words,
more
yeah.
than a few words.
Okay, but I can do 2 fast actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait. Attack is with it's a slow. I can do 1 fast and 1 slow.
You can do 1 fast and 1 slow.
Okay, I'm gonna take a shot at the priest.
And
'Cause
this
that's
is why
the
your
one.
inspiration roll failed. Because you were like, this is not the way.
This is not
Pow,
the way
pow,
for
pow,
all of
pow,
them.
pow.
You're killing ones that are, like just misguided. That one is the target. There's only one that I think needs to die.
I take
tonight.
everything back I said about Elstrad. Elstrad is just like, you're like some sort of loose
Elstrad-
cannon. This is not the way.
Elstrad
Violence
believes
is
in
not the way.
justice.
Pow, pow, pow. Love
But
it.
Elstrad believes in justice, and justice is only one tonight needs to die.
Justice has a sword in one hand.
Yes. It's a bit
Alright.
blinded because doesn't aim properly.
Yeah,
but...
fire away.
Okay. And I think it's still -1, right?
Yep.
Okay. Question, because I don't know, did I write it right? Because I have a 2 and then did a -1. I don't know though if it's calculated properly, because then in the bonus of my rifle it kept like the math in there.
Yeah,
Because
so what's happening in your... If you hit it, we'll have a
Yeah.
look and we can have a quick...
So I
just
click
-1
use.
in the box.
Yeah, so I have a 2, so I just write -1, or I just rewrite over it just the 1, because then the math
So
stayed the
you
same.
don't fiddle with your character sheet.
Yeah.
You click use, and when the box pops up for modifiers, you put -1.
Yeah, but there's already a 2 there. That's why I don't know if it's calculating properly. You get what I mean?
So I think you only need to put -1 in that box and not the 2, because there's a bonus next to your gun on your weapons.
Yeah, it was already there, that's why.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Right, if I press that in it. Oh, I see. Oh, right, yep. Then, yeah, you can alter the modifier so it's just 1.
Okay, cool. I think then that before,
Yeah.
there were something weird with that. But
Okay, you will want to consult
yeah,
the skills handout because you can
What?
do stuff. I'm going to roll
Okay.
my armor.
Yeah.
Okay, no, my armor does not negate any of the damage. So that's immediately 2 points of damage.
Oh, okay. I want him to, for my extra success, I want him to drop the weapon.
Okay, nice. So you shoot him square in the back, and as you do so, he drops his handgun.
Yep.
And yeah, you know that you've hit him pretty good.
Yep.
All right, it is the returned. The little girl, you give this little speech to this little girl about, being selective as to who should be punished. then shoot the priest. And she looks up at you and she says, but he upset Gætir, and they're all his friends, so they all need to die.
What did you say? Sorry, it glitched a bit, like the audio.
So, he upset Gætir.
Okay.
They're his friends, so they all have to die. Is what she says. All the other spirits are concentrating on torturing and or trying to kill someone. The little lad is going to chase after. He is going to chase after the priest. So that's his fast action, and he is then going to use another fast action to pick up the gun.
Okay.
The little girl that was holding Max's hand is actually going to move so that she's right in front of the priest as he's running, and she's gonna say, "Don't leave. We haven't killed you yet."
Yes.
And I then need to do rolls for the priest. Oh, he's got quite good empathy. He's okay. So, but he holds his ground, like, at this creepy little child appearing and sort of staring at him really intensely. Colonel, it's your turn.
I'm going to stir my saber, and I'm going to draw my rifle,
Okay.
pulling
Oh, I
out the
don't.
long shaft.
Swap weapons is a fast action. Nice.
And I'm going to aim and fire.
You get a -1 because you're all still in the same zone with one another.
Yeah.
But I also get the +2 advantage from when I polished it. the first
Yes. So,
Yay!
if everyone in chat and anyone catching up on YouTube, if you remember in the first episode, the Colonel got an advantage with the rifle, and now we are putting it into play. So you get a -1 penalty, but you get +2 because of your advantage. So it is a +1 overall.
Ow. Ow.
No.
5.
That was 13 dice.
13 dice.
It's that kind of night.
It's my dice rolls. It's my dice rolls. That's
just.
I'm so overjoyed by this. Honestly, I'm so overjoyed. Okay, well, you miss. You spectacularly miss.
And kill the old woman on the floor?
No. Your shot goes wide.
I'm happy we don't have natural
The
one.
anger over the Colonel at the moment. It's just there's steam coming out of his ears. He is hotter than the fire raging behind him.
Red mist.
Max, you're up. It's your turn.
Okie dokie. Max is going to move straight up to the priest, quite coldly. So, he's just going to walk up to the priest, dagger in hand, and attempt to stab him through the chest with it.
Okay.
Please, please, please.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
All right, nice.
Watch as Luke rolls 2 armor this time.
Woo!
No, get nothing on the armor. You stab at the priest, and as you do so, you feel resistance, and you realize that he is wearing armor underneath his priest robes. But you have come in with such conviction that you feel you pass through the armor and meet flesh beyond.
Wiggle it a bit.
He lets out a kind of very loud oof sound as you stab him, but he does not collapse.
I'm going to leave my dagger there. I'm just going to hold it in his
Yeah.
for the minute.
Right,
Yes.
it is the mob's turn. Okay, so the priest is going to try and basically jump over the fence. I'm going to do a roll for that because you have stabbed him and he is quite injured. And it is not going to be a great roll.
Could he be bloodied by any chance? Damn it.
But I make it! Nice! Alright, he jumps over the fence. That is his first fast action, is to move between zones. My second fast action is that he is going to start running down the street. Okay, so he is going to run. He will move off of the map, but you will still be able to see him. Like, he probably gets just to the... Like where the line is of the maps is probably the zone demarcation.
Okay.
Okay, I need to just quickly do my rolls for my NPCs. For the fisherman, who I'm actually rooting for.
Yeah.
Still okay.
He's guided.
And then my empathy rolls, one for the old lady, who not only succeeds on her empathy roll, but she breaks out of the control of the little child. The farmer, on the other hand, stops screaming and starts and just kind of just lays there. The eyes just glaze completely over. They're still breathing, but whether there's a person beyond, who knows? Elstrid.
You said that I can still see the priest.
Yeah, and he's now in another zone, so no penalties.
Well, let's just say... I mean, do I even need to say what I'm gonna do?
I am. Look, I'm crossing everything here.
Please hit it.
I am trying to shoot him. I really want. I'm trying to bring him down. So, no modifiers change.
Nothing
so-
changes. Yeah! Okay, let me roll the armor though. Let's not cheer just yet.
Here's 2 armor rolls. Damn it!
Okay, it is only 1 point of damage. Okay. So, in that case, I am going to hand it over to you. You are a crack shot. I will let you decide if you're shooting to kill or incapacitate. And describe to us what happens.
Okay, Elstrid just, kind of goes down to one knee just to stabilize a bit more. Just aims at the guy that started to at least is, she's just gonna aim straight at what she sees of her back because he's running away, the coward. And she just shoots. Me crosshair. And you just see him face planting. Like, goes straight through him.
Okay. And we come out of combat. Because of that, we come out of combat. As he hits the ground, I must ask, is he still alive?
No, he's not.
Okay. As soon as he hits the ground, Inga and the children vanish one by one into the fog. They just sort of fade away. The children first. And lastly, Inga is the only one who remains.
Okay.
And she relinquishes whatever, like, dark power she was exerting over the fisherman. And he kind of collapses over, but you can see he's still breathing. She looks up at the three of you. And then fades into the mist herself.
Okay. I mean, I think at this moment that, like, you know, combat finished, I think Elsie just falls to the ground.
How's the other farmhand looking next to us?
He's alive.
Like, is he visibly shaken from everything that's just happened, or is he now coming around?
He is laying there with eyeballs made of glass. Like,
Oh, he dead.
no, he's breathing.
No,
But
lights
there
are
is
on, no
just...
one's home.
There's nothing in there. There's no one there.
And
You have seen this before, Colonel. You will have seen, like, full shell shock. Like, when people just stop and just become catatonic.
Yeah. How's the fisherman looking from where we are? Is he, other than looking...
He is breathing, but he looks like he is somewhere on the border between conscious and unconscious. His wife has basically managed to, like, clamber, so she's resting on him, and she's kind of half sobbing, half not really conscious of what's going on around, / it's that real kind of edge point where she also has, like, reached a limit, and she's just collapsed and is just sort of sobbing into her husband's jacket.
Max will come back to the group to the other side of Elstrad. We'll look at the Colonel and say, should we get her back to the inn?
If I just get to my stuff, I can try to fix this. I have herbs that should help with the bleeding.
Okay, well, I'll get this side. If you could get that side, please, Colonel. We'll just...
Okay,
leave
quick
them here.
question. Where is Caddy? Because I don't think she will stay close to the fire.
Yeah, probably not. But at the same time, she would want to be quite close to you.
Sure.
She
Just
probably, if I'm gonna be honest, was probably hiding in one of the thickets.
Oh, yeah.
Because the returned... I mean, they frightened you.
Yeah.
I help with Astrid, getting the other side of her.
Thank you.
As we walk past the fisherman and his wife, I'll just spit on the ground next to them and go, "You think that was fucking acceptable? You're despicable human beings."
Okay. We will on over to our village
wow.
map.
Oh, poor Inga's house.
I mean, There's a
Yes.
well. You could try to, turn that.
You're almost dead. We kind of
Yeah.
you fixed
So
up,
what is
sold
your
the
plan,
house.
guys?
I feel like you guys are like moving me like we should get water. We can try to stop the fire, the squirrel fire. Like we'll see.
We're just gonna get her back to the inn, because that is where her stuff is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the three of you and Scuddy, yeah? You're going to leave the villagers by the burning house.
Yeah, we're not gonna help them. They
Noted.
brought this upon themselves.
Okay. Feel free to move the token so I know where you're headed. I'm assuming to the Vertshuset.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. You kind of come, I imagine,
Yep.
thundering into the Vertshuset.
I feel like somebody just push the door open with just kick it open and they're like, let's get in.
Yeah, you spill into the Vertshuset and are a little taken aback to find it empty. The candles extinguished and the fires are out.
Where are
Alcohol.
Tuli and you?
It's not that cold.
Colonel, would you help Elstrad up the stairs? I wouldn't be able to do it on my own, obviously. I'll head into the kitchen and see if anybody's here. And if not, I'll rustle us up something edible at least.
Yeah. I'll just carry Alfred up the stairs to her room.
I'm gonna head into the kitchen.
And being very careful going up the stairs, not to
Yeah.
choke too much.
Okay. We'll follow Max first, if you don't mind. As you step into the kitchen, Max, something lunges out of the dim light in the kitchen with a knife. The very large form kind of stops right in front of you, and there is a little moment where you see Turid with a inordinately large kitchen knife pointed at you, and you see her husband is behind her with like a kind of old style hunting rifle. She kind of looks a little wild for a second, and then you see her go, "It's you." Okay.
Yes. Who did you expect?
Well,
Santa Claus?
things have got a little out of hand in the village.
Yes, we ran into the out of hand on our way back, and the priest is no longer with us. But unfortunately, we have lost Inga's house. A couple of members of the village as well in the fray. One there is no coming back from. The other will possibly never recover. And the fisherman and his wife may question their actions before they follow the lead of somebody who's relatively new to the village.
Is the violence over? Is it safe?
Yes,
Outside?
as safe as it can be for now.
Then we had best go and help the other villagers. Or at least the villagers that can be helped.
Absolutely.
You have made a very complicating situation.
How so?
Well, I'm not sure where you'll come from, but here, a dead priest is normally a problem. I'm assuming it was self-defense.
Absolutely. Well, my friend is upstairs currently bleeding on your floors.
Oh gosh. You were involved in the shooting? Here, we have some bandages somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh.
It would be greatly helped. Unfortunately, the priest, he took out his pistol and shot her at point blank range. She should hopefully be okay. She hasn't crossed yet, at least.
You see, Turid and Jarl rummage around in a cupboard or two before pulling out some linen, some rolled linens, and they hand them to you, and they say, "Here, take them, and if you need water or hot water, and she points to a large sort of metal urn that's on the stove, and she says, "It's still hot. We're going to go and try and help the other villagers."
Absolutely. The priest, I'm guessing from the location of Inga's house, because we were at the front here,
Yeah.
that the priest potentially made it to about here.
Yeah, probably at the crossroads or near the well.
Did we see his body on the way back?
Yes, you will have done.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if the mist had taken him.
No, you will have seen his body on the road by the well.
Perfect. The priest is currently almost outside of your door. Once I've gone and assisted my friend, I shall remove his body. Just tend to the living, and I will tend to your dead.
Yes, sure. We must hurry if we are going to lend aid, and you must hurry also if your friend is bleeding.
Absolutely.
And you see Turid and Jarl hurry out of the kitchen. You notice Turid does not put the knife down, and Jarl takes the gun. They're obviously still, you've got the sense that this is a quite frightening situation. So, and you are left in the kitchen. What are you going to do?
I'm going to grab a mixing bowl. Pop warm, like the hot water, just kind of like dip it into the hot water or scoop out hot water into it. And linens and hot water are on their way by Nurse Max.
Okay. Max, you enter into Elstrid's room. Elstrid and the Colonel and Max, you are now all together. I imagine the Colonel is sort of helping Elstrid to try and get like the corner of her like blouse down so that you can start tending to the bullet wound. Probably while Elstrid is telling you, Colonel, where her stuff is, where her supplies are.
Yeah.
You're gonna find like a few small pouches where there's like separated already stuff for depending on the type of injury. Because obviously, as a hunter, as a ranger, I spend a lot of time on my own, and I cannot always go back to the city for every scrape.
Fair. I'm going to need a medicine check from somebody.
I mean, I can do it. After all, I have my, talent as a herbalist.
Okay. Give me that medicine check then.
Let's hope not for an absolute fail.
I mean, it's not gonna go well.
As I'm helping with this, did she get any modifiers for that?
Do you have any dice in medicine?
No.
Then I feel like you make a fabulous nursemaid, but you're lending all the help as in passing things and doing tasks, but you are fully under the direction of Elstrad.
Okay. Do I get any modifiers since, I'm a herbalist, or just I have access to stuff?
So the herbalist allows you to get medical supplies when you are in the wild, but you have medical supplies with you now, so no. Just roll the dice. I'm excited. Woohoo! Okay, so you are able to tend your wounds. You can remove a physical condition that ails you, but only one, because it's one per success.
I put wounded and exhausted. It makes sense to take away the wounded and not the exhausted. We still haven't really slept here.
Yeah, fair. This takes a little while. This is cleaning the wound, making sure there's no fibre in the gunshot, trying to get the bullet out. There's a whole host.
It's gonna be like, can you pass me those, looks like torture weapons? It's just tweezers to get the bullet out.
It is not a fast process, and it is, not only is it fairly tedious to have to try and get the bullet out, make sure there aren't any fibres in there, like make the herbal remedy from Elstrid's bag, bandaging. You're also having to do it at Elstrid's pace. Because, painkillers and things, more, it's not like any of you have got morphine in your bag.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point I asked them, get whatever the strongest liquor you can find.
Yeah, legit, I believe that would happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably about halfway through, then Max will have ducked out.
Yeah. Okay, so Max, we will follow you as you duck out to tend to the dead, as you poetically put it.
The first thing I'm going to do when I come outside is look for Turid.
So as you come outside, you see that there are lights in the fisherman's house.
Mm-hmm. Which is where? Across the road here?
Yeah, it's this one just opposite.
So I'm going to wander over just to the front door, just to knock on it, and to ask if Turid is there.
Jarl opens the door, and he says, yes, Turid is inside, but she is tending to the folks.
I wonder then if I could have a word with you just outside.
Yes, of course.
And I just get him to close the door. Turid mentioned that having a dead priest around would raise questions and problems.
Well,
what kind
yes.
of questions and problems?
Well, it's murder, isn't it?
How about if it was just suicide or an accident?
I don't... If it is self-defense like you said, then... Then you should be fine. You said he drew a weapon and shot your friend point blank.
Indeed.
No one would... Anyone
no one
would
else in the
defend their
village
friend.
saw it. Yes, but no one else in the village saw that. Because they didn't. The farmhand had already gone glazed over at the back. The other one was crumpled up. The fisherman was coughing up water, and the old woman was hunched over, scared by a fence.
It's fair.
I think that is a problem. We will have to call the police. We will have to send a telegram to the police. Regardless. I am uncomfortable with the idea of trying to cover anything up, particularly if you are innocent, as you said.
Absolutely fine. I just wondered if you wanted a easier explanation for when the police come?
I'm not in the habit of lying to the law.
Absolutely fine. Just wondered.
You see, he kind of crosses his arms and he looks at you. There's now like a little sense of disappointment, maybe a little bit of... Like, he clearly didn't expect that from you.
Mm-hmm. Just there's a burning house. Just pop him in there. It's not a problem.
I had thought that, not doing online.
So, after bidding my farewell to Yao, I will head back over, drag the priest back into Inga's yard
Okay.
by his feet,
Yep.
and just pop him kind of in the corner along with the other
Yep.
fishermen. Not knowing the Christian last rites, Max would give the last blessings of the old gods.
Okay.
And then once he had done that and placed some small rocks on their eyes, he would come back out of the yard and back in. It'd probably take him about half an hour, I'd say.
Yeah. You probably arrive at the Vertshusset back into Elstrid's room about the time that the Colonel comes out of Elstrid's room. What are you guys doing? Elstrid will have been bandaged and all dealt with by the time Max reappears. I don't know if you would have, like, kind of just popped Elstrid on her bed, probably a little drunk, in quite a lot of discomfort, and just sort of come out and just shut the door.
I mean, we all know that the easiest way to stop something from bleeding in this, era is just, cauterize it with whatever you have. So I'm pretty sure Elstrid at the moment is not conscious.
I think Elstrid's probably less... she's probably less down the line of cauterizing stuff and more down the line of, like, I've got this weird moss that if you just jam that in, like, just jam it in the gunshot hole. Just jam it in there, put a bandage on it, it'll be fine.
That is very true. Not far west enough for this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, probably make sure you're propped up and... Will I leave? I'm not sure if I'd leave or not. No, I think I would leave. I'm too angry to be around people still at the minute. So as Max comes back, I'll probably I'm probably just standing outside the door at this point and kind of just watch him come up the stairs. How are things out there?
I have given the last blessings to the priest and the farmhand. I also asked if it would be easier if it looked like an accident. But they Jarl was not interested and will be sending a telegram to the police. I would suggest that rather than more outsiders coming into the village, after resting tonight, we head straight to Helvete tomorrow.
I agree.
And see if we can put an end to this before more people come into the village and get harmed.
What do you think is going on, Max?
I think that there won't be any more odd occurrences like happened today, because this place is old and it remembers. And when something has come in trying to upset that balance, It's caused more problems than needs be. But I believe that this Gætir will hold the answers. Plus, we have this key. And this hall under the mountain. Perhaps what we're looking for will be there.
You can see that the Colonel is visibly trying to just calm down and take it all in logically. But his knuckles are still white in anger. I can't believe people would turn that far. Telling their own people in the village.
It's funny what faith will do. Either which way, to whichever faith it is belonging to. Some of the worst atrocities in history has been committed in the name of faith.
I've seen that firsthand. I've seen people die for a flag.
All we can try and do is try to find those who are missing.
Yes. That is our objective. This is what we must do. Let's go. The rest is. Does anyone need any assistance outside?
I think everything is under control. Inga's house, I would say, has a couple more hours in it before it is out. And there is no point trying to rescue that now. It's going to be easier to rebuild from the ground up. I just hope that she is able to rebuild when we bring her and her child home.
Well, once it is all sorted, if we stick around for a little while and try and sort that.
Absolutely.
Try and make sure things are in place.
I'm sure Elstrid will love a bit of gardening.
Also, if we are staying nearby in the house on the hill, maybe good to keep the residents on side.
Precisely. Would you like a drink?
Would you never ask?
And Max will just be like, you wait there, I'll be right back.
So I'm guessing then that the two of you will have a drink or two to calm the nerves before you're turning into bed yourselves to try and get what little rest you think you can in this crazy situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So after a few drinks, Turid and Jarl, you hear Turid and Jarl return back to the Vertshuset. They say very little before retiring to their living quarters in the Vertshuset. You have some drinks, you chat, you calm the nerves, you head to bed. Surprisingly, all three of you fall to sleep very quickly as exhaustion takes hold. While you sleep, You each have a dream. There is an old stone archway. Well, it's more of like standing stones than an archway.
Mm-hmm.
They rise up out of a lake. Or is it a pole? Or a lake? Or a pool? It's difficult to tell how large the water is. Jutting out are these two standing stones with a third rested across them like a lintel. And below it is a boulder. The water laps around the stones. There is a beautiful green and vivid sort of mossy weed that grows up the rock. As the dream kind of swirls about in your mind, it is not a weird mossy green weed at all. It's hair. Flowing green hair that cascades into the lake down the boulder. Delicate little hands brush the hair with a beautiful, intricate comb made of ivory. And there is singing. A little fey voice singing a jaunty tune. Behind this scene, there is a waterfall. It pours into the pond, into the pool, into the lake. And it parts ever so gently. And behind it is a door. A great stone door covered in patterns and symbols the like you have never seen. And there is a keyhole, a tiny keyhole in the door. Then there is the sound of footfalls on gravel. As someone approaches the edge of the pool. Then there is a booming voice. You feel pain and terror as the sounds of this voice cut into your soul. And all three of you awaken, drenched in sweat, your hearts beating. The quiet echoes of the booming voice in your minds. And that is where we're going to take a break. Look at that. We're going to take a quick break, everyone. We're going to take a 10-minute bio break so that we can go and have a short rest, roll some hit dice, eat some of our provisions, top up on our drinks and that sort of thing. We will be 10 minutes, so we will reappear at 10:15, so 22:15, where we will continue our story to see where our adventurers end up and what is this dream all about. Catch you at 10:15, where we'll pick up where we left off. And we are back from our short break. We have eaten some snacks, drunk some drinks, weed some wheeze, and we are ready to rumble. So we are back with you. So, without further ado, I'm just going to drag everyone in. Why not? Let's do this! Ta-da! So, let's pick up from where we left just before our break. You all awaken from a rather disturbing dream. Your hearts are beating fast. You are drenched in sweat. And you can still hear that residual sound of the booming voice that brought such pain and terror. What are you all gonna do? Let's put some sensibleness to this. Let's start with Elstrid. What are you gonna do? Because you're waking up post being shot.
What time is it?
It's early-ish morning. So we're talking probably about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, late. No.
Yeah, I realised that as I said 8, and I was like, that's not early at all. But I've said 8 now, so it's canon.
Well, you're just gonna like, Esther is just like gonna take a breath, like, you know, trying to calm herself, and then really, you know, trying to help her calm herself, she's just gonna take Scotty and just, you know, like the morning doggy walk.
Or more likely the morning sort of doggy hobble.
Yeah.
Because I imagine you're quite battered.
I am, you know, feeling like Elstrid is like, you know, like standing as straight as she can be, not realizing she's really hunched over, but she's trying her best.
Fair. Okay. What about the Colonel?
It's 8 o'clock now. Has his anger now kind of calmed down? Or is he still angry from the mental injury?
So your mental condition remains until you can get aid or assistance like first aid, basically. You have to get mental health first aid.
Fair enough.
I know, right? Savagery.
Yeah. I think at this point then he'd wake up, and at this point he'd now start stripping his rifle down, cleaning it, going through everything, adjusting the sights, trying to work out why it didn't work the day before to hit. Kind of get frustrated with it and then trying to focus and calm himself down, then going through the whole monotony of polishing his boots, pressing his uniform, making sure everything's clean, make sure everything's in order, make sure everything's exactly where it should be. And then as soon as that's prepared, he'll then walk outside. Walk down into the common room.
Okay. Max?
See, was the voice distinguishable? Did it like what
You recognise
word?
a huge amount of visuals in the dream from your vision.
So Max is gonna probably jot down the images into like a journal or something like that, so he doesn't forget it, and then will get himself dressed for the day in his usual attire, and will also pop back on his cloak because it made him feel authoritarian the day before.
Okay, lovely. Do you go down to the tap room, down to the common room as well?
Yeah, to
Okay.
go and grab some breakfast.
Lovely. So you'll bump into the Colonel, who is put back to rights for all intents and purposes. You know, uniform, polished boots, everything as it should be. And as you sit down at the table with the Colonel, you hear the door go and the now familiar tippy-tappy-tap of Scuddy's feet that kind of announces Elstrid's arrival. As Elstrid, you finish your walk and you come back into the vets you sit.
Yeah. Well, morning.
Yeah, she comes in, I'll stand up. Morning. How are you?
Well, as it can be. Do we have a plan for what to do today?
Max.
Yes. We're going to head out as soon as possible, as soon as is capable. And we're going to go straight up to Helveta today.
Yes. Okay, makes sense. Just grabbing some stuff and then I'm ready.
Okay.
Obviously, on my walk outside, did I see, like anything from yesterday? Like obviously the house that burned down, but villagers, anybody around?
You are almost certain you saw a few pairs of curtains twitching, but you didn't see anyone. Inga's house is still sort of burning. It's mostly out. It's probably now considered smouldering. And there are still the body of the priest and the farmer are still laid out in the garden. It's kind of only really now in the morning that there's a horrifying moment where the smell is the same. The smell of burning down house.
Yeah.
It triggers a whole host of memories. But thankfully, Skadi has no time for melancholy or being
Yeah.
or dealing with this little onslaught of memories, because Skadi is on a walk.
Yeah.
Do you need to be walking with her?
Yeah.
And so when you're caught by this sort of
Moment.
yeah, the next thing you notice is Skadi, who is basically just bashing into you, like nudging you along, trying to be like, come on, we're going for a walk.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But the feeling that smell will haunt you forever,
Yeah.
that Skadi can't nudge out of the way. You don't see anyone, and the fog is still there. Not as thick as when it first appeared. It does seem to be easing.
It hasn't started like anything yet. It's not like raining. It's not, thunderstorm.
Nope.
No new atmospheric problems. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm going upstairs just to catch my coat or something, and then downstairs again.
Breakfast is a slightly sorry affair this morning, as Jarl and Turid aren't able to put on the full spread. Turid is, however, able to cook up some eggs, and there is bread and butter. It is simple fare. Jarl and Turid don't really seem to be talking too much. But when you order breakfast, when you talk to them to, you know, see what you can get for breakfast, there is a tiny sort of smile in the edges of, like, Turid's eyes, like she is very grateful that you're okay, and that you are trying to help, and that maybe one of the situations is now resolved.
I am gonna thank her for, you know, the help that she gave me yesterday with giving Max stuff for me.
Of course. We couldn't just... We had to help you. It was the right thing to do.
There's still so much we'll try to do today. So, thank you for making that possible.
Well, at least the violence has stopped.
Yes.
Well, I guess good luck. I don't really know what else to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
After you've all had your breakfast, you grab what equipment you think you will need, and head out onto the street. The fog is still there. It's much lighter than it was before. Much lighter than it was before. It feels like almost a natural fog that would blow in from the fjord. But it is still foggy.
Of course.
The fog clings to the smell of burning. So it makes it feel heavy and smoky. What are you guys gonna do?
Start heading in the way of Helveta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It isn't too far of a walk. It's not too far of a journey to get to Helveta from Espedalen. It is down the road, per se. However, there isn't a road that leads you there. There is a path that kind of cuts through the forest that surrounds Espedalen and then heads into the mountainous area. Now, you don't climb up one of the mountains. You kind of skirt around it a little bit. You do rise a touch, but not very much. After only a very short amount of time, you find yourself following following a river. Well, it's more of a stream. It's not a river, it's a stream. And you wind your way through the trees and the mountains. The fog is here as well, and it creates a very otherworldly feeling. Being out in the wild with the fog, the quiet that creates and the calmness, it does feel like you've wandered into the other world. The stream disappears. Either it winds its way away from you, the path that you are following, or it heads into the mountain, who knows. The trees just stop.
Mm-hmm.
It is a really stark and aggressive cessation of the forest, as if there was a force holding the trees back, preventing them from crossing. You just step out,
Mm-hmm.
and before you, there is a huge crack that runs through the ground. And I mean a huge crack. The sound of water running echoes up out of it. The path ends at the beginning of a rope ladder that descends down into the gloom of the crack.
Mm. Who wants to go first?
If no one else, well, I will. It's just a hole.
Do we see anything weird around? Obviously, it's like kind of like what we were expecting, but is there like something weird? Like, I don't. Okay, let's start with: are there tracks around? Have been like,
Yes.
well, ah,
You are not the first people to come here recently. There is
okay.
another set of tracks that leads in both directions, to and from.
Adults or children's footprint?
Adult. And more boot prints than footprints.
Okay. I found the boot prints out to the guys. We may not be alone.
Do we see them returning, or is it just one way into
They
the...
go there and they come back.
Hmm.
So someone has been in and has come out again.
Okay.
Perhaps it was one of the people that passed yesterday. And so we won't need to worry about them coming back.
Hmm. It may be just one of the parents looking for the children as well,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't. I wouldn't assume that's the case. There's multiple options here.
Until the age of the footprints coming in and away, is it obvious to tell that the footprints going in are older, or footprints going away are older?
So the looking at the footprints, that person has gone in and come out again.
Cool. I was worried in case it was the other way around.
Mm-hmm. So they've gone in and they've come out again.
Let's head down then.
Let's go.
And I start descending the ladder.
Okay.
Oh,
Once Max has reached the bottom, I'll head down myself.
As you descend the rope ladder, the rain begins. Gently at first, but as the last of you steps down off of the rope ladder, there is a crack of thunder. It is dark down here. Not pitch black, but gloomy. There isn't much light that reaches all the way down here. But that's not too much of a problem. Because there is water down here. And it is glowing.
Glowing?
Almost as if the water was phosphorescent. You can hear the thunder cracking overhead and the water moving. There's lots of water moving, there's lots of dripping. You are definitely inside what once was a cave. But through time and erosion, the ceiling of the cave has fallen inward. So the crack that you saw is where the roof of the cave has given in. So you're in a kind of strange half cave without a roof. There is a river running through the middle of the cave, and it is that river that is glowing. It goes for some time, and then you hear the sound of like rushing water.
Like a waterfall.
Yeah.
I look at the other two. I'll suggest, should we head towards the waterfall?
Question, how much are we seeing down here?
You can see everything you can see in the map.
Yeah.
Yep, if you can
It's
see it on the
quite
map,
like-
you can see it.
Yeah, that's my question, because I don't see the boys, so I'm like, do I
Oh.
see...
I'll just give you a wiggle.
Okay. I know where I am, I don't know if they are here though, because I don't see them.
Yeah, they're all supposed to be right near.
Yeah,
they're all
I
supposed to
can-
be next to each other.
I can see
Yeah.
you too.
Let me just check you've got eyeballs. Yeah, you have eyeballs.
I think so.
I was checking that your token had eyes. I've given you a wiggle. Can you?
I see me and I see where I am, I just don't see them. Because if I go on the Twitch stream, I see that we're technically supposed to be all next to each other, but no, I don't see them in mine.
How
I'm
strange.
just gonna quickly refresh the page. That helps.
How funny.
Still just me.
Just so you know.
Did you put me in a different layer than everybody else?
No.
Okay. I mean, fine.
Over the sound of the water, there is the faintest sound like someone is singing. But it's echoing and twisting through the caves, muffled by the water. But you can hear it.
Is it coming from a specific direction?
It's echoing, so we...
It's really difficult to tell in here because everything echoes.
Okay, so let's start moving towards that waterfall. I'm guessing that's the waterfall there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfecto.
Okay, I'll apologize if I walk over people because I still don't see you.
It's so
Walking
strange.
around the edge of this water.
I have no... I'm gonna check the street,
You're gonna have to like peek at the stream.
I keep like going on Twitch to see, yeah, sure, it's gonna be fine.
The water
Whoop.
thunders down a gash in the cave wall. The water has clearly forced its way through a weak point in the rock and is pouring and tumbling downward into whatever it is that is beyond. There isn't any there's no dry path here, just the rushing water that dives into a dark tunnel patch.
Has the singing seemed to have got louder as we've moved towards the waterfall?
No, the waterfall itself has gotten louder and it has started to drown out most of the other sounds.
Perhaps the other way.
Perhaps. Let's check all the places we can actually walk on before we decide, exactly where to go.
Before we test the waxing of our overalls.
Mm-hmm.
Or we test the water?
Okay, now my roll 20 is going weird again because I cannot even scroll up and down from the place. Oh. Gonna be fine.
You're having some real issues this evening.
Don't get it.
Following the water in the other direction, you come into a large, round cavern of a space. The water just seems to start here. You are assuming that there must be an underground spring of some description that forces the water to the surface, and it is here that it has broken through the rock and become the sort of river that you can see that has carved its way through the rock.
Mm-hmm.
There is a large wooden post that has been driven into the center of the water here.
Hmm. Is there anything weird?
The sound of singing does get a little louder here because you're further away from the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Alstred,
Yep.
could you come and tell me, please, if these are animal or not? And I point at this pile of bones. Hopefully you saw my ping.
Yeah, I saw the ping.
You just can't see me.
Yeah.
Elstrid, give me a medicine roll.
Sure. Let's see if something else breaks tonight. Mm-hmm. Woo!
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
2
Nice.
successes. Okay. You know that this is not one single skeleton. It is a pile of bones that have been collected together. There are bones from different animals, and some of them are certainly the right size and shape to be human.
Hmm. I report that.
Hope not to become permanent visitors.
Let's have not become additions.
Exactly. This passageway here, GM, is that open for us to wander through?
Yes, there is a very narrow passageway that breaks away from the cavern. As you take a little step forward, you notice that it gets very thin. What looks like a hole appears on the ground beneath you, and there is a thin rock that juts between the two. It bridges the hole from one side to the other.
Don't make us roll to get across it. Get across the rock.
Yes, can I have an agility roll, please?
I'm going to hop down onto my butt, because of course Victorian shoes, and shimmy across.
Okay. Agility roll, please.
I wasn't sure if I'd get any extra bits for that.
Good try, good try. I will give you the
Yeah.
prize for trying. Okay. Colonel and Elstrid, you
Yeah.
see Max try to step out on this thin bit of stone that bridges this hole that you see before you. Max cleverly sits down and tries to scoot along it. This doesn't work out very well, and both of you see in slow motion and in horror as Max shuffles and in doing so unbalances, tipping off the thin piece of rock.
I lunge for him.
Yeah, can we try and grab him?
Fly, you fools!
Yeah, absolutely. You can give me one of you can give me an agility check, because this is thin. There's only enough space for one of you at a time. I like Jack's face. This is the face of someone who's like calculating the odds of success.
I doubt
It's fine, it's only my character's life. It's not a big issue.
Wow!
I mean, yeah, you don't know how big the hole is
Or where it drops to.
or where it goes to.
Exactly. I know, Jack. I wanted to go there too.
Grubby.
You're the one saying about how big this gaping hole is.
Grubby.
I mean, are you trying or am I trying?
Somebody try. I'm.
Yeah.
I feel that on the map I'm closer, so
Yeah, I know.
I'll-
Go on then.
um,
Roll those dice.
yes.
You shall.
You lunge forward and catch Max just as he is about to tip off this precipitous piece of rock. That is enough to allow Max to cross.
Perfect. I'm gonna shout back into that. Would you like to throw me the rope?
Good idea.
Yeah. I always have some rope on me, so I'm just gonna throw one end towards him.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna tie it around myself
Okay.
and then brace it with an arm as well, so it's kind of like a
Yeah.
proper anchor point.
Okay. Who's next?
I will cross next then.
It is an agility roll, and you get a +1 modifier for the rope assistance.
Here comes the fail.
Yep.
Hey!
Oh,
That +1. Oof. If you'd like to pop yourself past me.
it's a bit of a squeeze.
I launched the rope back at Elstrad.
I'm trying to think if it makes more sense, like, to try to tie one hand here and just, like, try to walk over, or just to tie it to myself and you guys hold the other end and just pull
You're not gonna drop down far.
I like the when that happens more than the if.
Absolutely. There's been too many successes now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, tie it to myself so they can pull me in case I slip.
Okay, you get that +1 for the rope.
Okay. Let's see this.
Hey! It's the +1.
Ooh, nice. You are all three of you able to safely navigate this perilous fall.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There is a faint glow from the other end of this very narrow passage.
Please, lead on, Canon.
Yes.
It opens out into a much larger chamber. And the river, again, this underwater river, oh my goodness, this underground river carves its way through this chamber. In this room, there seems to be some, like, flotsam in the water, where this water has gathered up debris, like wood and twigs. And there is another waterfall. As you see, the water cascades again through a crack in the cave wall.
Is it the other end of the waterfall that we were seeing before, since it's kind of like,
Yeah, so it looks like the waterfall you saw before pours into this chamber, and then there's another crack that the water is disappearing out of.
So it's running in a there to there kind of direction.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So are we lower than before then?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It does feel like you are descending deeper.
I see a potential wander around rather than flinging ourselves over.
Yeah. I'm just gonna quickly like pop over to the water to see if there's like, any creature, as in fish and that type of, normal habitat creatures.
The water
Yeah.
is drastically clear. It's that cave water that's like crystal clear.
It's the one that you're actually thinking there's nothing.
There's
since it's
nothing
so
there,
clear.
except for the fact that every time the water is disturbed, it glows. And because this water is fast flowing, it's covered in rivulets of phosphorescence. What a beautiful pair of words to say together.
Because you live in your Nigella fantasy.
That is it. That's me done. I am now the Nigella of tabletop RPGs. I'm taking that title. I'm gonna quickly claim it before someone snatches it away from me.
You need to get your alliteration out.
I know.
Please lead on again, Colonel.
Yes. I'll head further down this way. It's a lovely pile of rocks. With what I can assume is more bones just there.
Ooh, gosh, I'm getting a bit frivolous with my map movements. Yes, this goes into a much smaller cave system, and this seemingly it does have its roof, so it does close in over you and feel a lot more cave-like. There are a lot of rocks and debris that have collapsed into here, or have been like battered into here by the passage of time. Again, you do see another pile of bones.
Is it the same as before?
Yes, it's like a weird combination of animal and human bones.
Does it look like the water has risen and dropped these bits here, and then has dropped back down again?
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like.
Basically a living cave system still.
Yeah.
Can we see how high the water level has got into this room before? Is there
Actually,
a watermark wall?
that's a really interesting question with a really GM answer. The water reached the top. Because that's how caves are made. So, like,
what word style is as gills we can bring?
yeah. I mean, the water would have, at some point, like, this cave system has been carved out by the water that you're seeing over the passage of time. Of recent times, you imagine that the water has risen enough that it would be at least waist deep, if not more, gauging from the moss and the kind of with the little bit of sunlight that's getting into here because the patches of roof have collapsed in. You can gauge where life stops. That's where the water stops as well. But it does feel like it probably is a living cave system, so everything's still sort of wet and dripping.
With the rain happening outside, this could fill up pretty quickly if that storm hits hard. I suggest we move quickly.
Absolutely, please lead on. I believe there is another. It looks like a tight fit.
Let's see it.
And
Should we
another
maybe-
one of those. There is another one of those where there is a tunnel that just drops downward, and a perilously thin piece of rock that bridges it.
I'll hold up my hand for a rope.
I now see you guys.
Yay!
I mean, you're like darkened, but I see you.
Yes, yeah. We're all darkened.
I don't know, you just appeared, so happy. What's the first?
So I tie myself to Elstrad and to the Colonel.
Yep.
So there's enough rope. So if the Colonel drops, there's 2. If I drop, there's 2. And if Elstrad drops, there's 2.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna cross once tied off.
I'm so excited for these rolls.
Do
Agility
we all
plus
get
one?
+1?
It is agility +1.
Yes.
Ooh.
And cross. Comes Max. Thunderous Max. Nope.
I mean,
Okay.
Elf all over again.
You're holding the rope, aren't you?
I'm tied in the middle of the rope. So
You're
Elf can
tied in
stop
the
one
middle
end.
of the
Oh,
ropes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Well, you just position yourself in the middle then, somewhere.
Okay.
I am going to need a force roll from either end. So
Either or
that's
both.
both, because you're both going to have to take the weight of
Yeah.
Max.
He didn't have a large breakfast.
Can I, if I'm, like holding on the wall as much as I can, does that help?
No, it's still force.
Woo!
Okay. So, as Max begins to cross the precipitous rock, Max Victorian shoes, as you said, slide on the rock. Max tumbles off of the edge and surprises the Colonel. The Colonel is pulled over as Max kind of looks to plummet down the hole somewhat, with the Colonel sliding. Elstrid, you stand there in kind of shock and panic as you watch Max drop down this sinkhole,
Yeah.
the Colonel hit the deck and start sliding across the floor, also heading towards the pothole. And as you see your two comrades, one already falling down this hole to unknown depths, and the other sliding across the floor, heading in the same direction. That is where we will call an end to this evening's stream.
This looks
Well,
so
the story. We've got to say all the thank yous and goodbyes yet, but the story.
Arsehole.
Yes.
Hey, it
DM's
is.
prerogative.
How
DM's
do you think I
prerogative.
keep these chatters on the stream coming back week after week? I have to put you in mortal danger.
It's our absolutely brilliant personalities.
And that.
Yeah,
I've made them love you. You've made them love you, and I'm trying to, and I keep putting you in danger. That's what's happening. Right. Well, thank you very much for everybody who has tuned in this evening on our Twitch channel and has watched us tell these quite dark and ominous stories this evening. I want to say a huge thank you to the cast. I'm going to hand over to you guys and get you to do your hi, and this is where you can find me and things. So, Mike plus rather fluffy looking cat who has
So, Bean.
Yep. So, Mike and guest.
Hi, I'm Mike. You can catch me on Twitch, on TikTok, on YouTube under mmikeyb456. Thank you so much, Dan, for shouting that out. And also, thank you very much, Dan, for being our fabulous mod for this evening.
You jump my gun. You take my thunder. But yes, thank you so much to our fabulous moderator this evening. They have been working tirelessly to keep us safe from the real trolls rather than our make-believe ones. You have to go and check them out on their channel and all the crazy things that they get up to, which are nearly all of them ridiculous and too much fun. The Colonel.
Yeah, you can find me here. Also on Instagram under j.m.barber_the Colonel.
That's right. Someone's so committed to this that their social media reflects it. Additionally, I want to send out a huge like amazement and train of love to the Colonel's mum for creating a fabulous cosplay garment. Go on, show it off for us.
Which currently is way too hot.
Yeah.
Woo!
I watched you during the stream and I was like, Jack's getting red. It was like watching a lobster cooking. I was like, ooh.
It was not good. I could literally feel the temperature just like rising.
And last but by no means least, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. You can find me, on Instagram under Spikkia, Spikkia. If that's the right way of spelling it in English.
Yep, yes it is. You did beautiful. It was a beautiful job. All right, that was our lovely cast. So I'm going to say a huge thank you to all three of them for bringing the stream to life and playing their amazing characters. I am going to switch us over to our credit roll. So wave everyone.
Thank you very much, Luke, for being an amazing GM.
Yeah. Over to the credit roll. Just so that basically they can talk inside, they can all talk to each other in my head while I try and read and talk to you all at the same time. And I'm like, wow, brain things are happening. The Society wants to say a huge thank you to some absolutely amazing contributors who have added to this stream in the most amazing of ways. Shusha is at the absolute top of our list. Shusha is our amazing character artist, absolutely incredible, and created all of the character art for all of the characters and that featured in the tokens. You can see all of her absolutely incredible artwork at her Instagram. All the links will appear in the Twitch chat or will appear in the details below. Johan Egerkrans is the original artist for the Vaesen artwork book that inspired the work of Free League Publishing, who are the makers of this TTRPG and many other incredible TTRPGs that are definitely worth having a look at. They have recently released a Lord of the Rings TTRPG. If that is your jam, go and check it out. It's incredible. If you are really liking some of the crazy horror stuff, they also do my favourite, I know it's a bit inflammatory, my favourite TTRPG, which is the Alien RPG based on the incredible Alien film franchise. Head on over to their website, have a look at all of their amazing stuff. Our virtual tabletop is Roll20. So all of the maps and tokens and all the crazy things that you have seen in our virtual tabletop was all done via the amazing Roll20. You can check out their website at roll20.net. If what you've seen tonight isn't enough to entice you to head over there, then when I tell you that the majority of their functions are free, I can't tell you enough how crazy good it is. The maps themselves were made by myself on Dungeon Fog, which is an amazing a digital map making tool that you can use to create amazing maps for your games at home. You can head on over to their website or Google them on Dungeon Fog. Tabletop Audio has been the amazing ambient soundtracks that you have heard throughout the stream that were available through the Roll20 Jukebox. They also have an amazing website with a huge array of sounds that you can use in your games at home. Kevin McLeod at Incompetech also contributed to the music that you heard tonight via the Roll20 Jukebox. Our OBS overlays were created by myself using the Valhyr runic translator for all the little runes that pop up. And the intro music to our intro video was created by myself on Music Maker Jam. This stream would not be the same without you guys, our audience, and I want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you who has come along this evening to watch us being ridiculous on our stream. A huge thank you to you, and I cannot wait to see you all again next week when we carry on our ridiculous stories and find out what happens to Max and the Colonel, whether they plummet to their death through the sinkhole or whether Elstrid will be able to save them. Now, I'm going to say a big goodbye to you, and as I do so, I'm going to try and raid out to a fabulous streamer. I'm going to do my medium act now, where I have voices in my head that tell me things. /raid. Do you say that again? Hotel uniform, November Tango. I misheard that completely. Sierra. Mike. Echo November Sierra. Yep. Hotel Yankee. Delta Romeo Alpha Huntsman Hydra. Perfect. I am going to hit the big button now to raid you all out over to there where they are playing Fire in the Dark. Ooh, that's exciting. They are playing an amazing TTRPG over there. We're going to head over now and say a big hello to all of them. I'm just going to say one big more thank you while we head out to raid. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week when we continue our story.